Why am I always angry? Anger is a natural feeling, however, it is not healthy to be angry most of the time. This frequent anger produces a lot of suffering. In Mindset Change, we explain in detail what are the main causes that can lead you to suffer a habitual anger. Next, we answer this question: why am I always angry? We want to help you solve the situation. Why am I always angry? Identify the cause. Your mood offers you information about yourself. Chronic anger is a symptom of unhappiness. It can also be a symptom of deep sadness. The anger, in essence, shows an imbalance between your expectations and the reality itself. That is, when anger is a frequent defense position in your existence, then you feel that reality itself disappoints you on a regular basis through the events of other people, the evolution of events, and the circumstances themselves. But do you know which is the most bitter of anger? The anger with yourself. And it is very possible that if you find yourself at this point, anger also has its origin in the disgust you have with you for not facing changes in your life and staying stuck at a certain point. Anger is a reflection of repressed and silenced illusions. If you are angry most of the time, try to deepen the cause of this discomfort, since this symptom indicates that there is something that is not going well in your life right now. Instead of interpreting this symptom as something negative, try to be optimistic, since this information helps you get to know yourself better. This feeling of generalized anger does not have so much to do with the concrete, but with the general. That is, although you experience explosions of anger in specific situations, at the base of that discomfort there is a deeper pain. And it is that pain that you have to attend to. Occasionally, this discomfort may also be related to a state of unresolved guilt. From the point of view of health, it is very important to remember that being always angry and sad is a symptom of depression. Therefore, it is essential to go to the psychologist to ask for personalized advice. How to stop being angry? When a person enters the wheel of chronic anger, he may feel overwhelmed by the inertia of that negative energy that leads him to that point of disenchantment. However, it is positive that, from a more conscious point of view, reflections on whether you really want to continue in the same way or want to give yourself the opportunity to live a life in which your energy is concentrated in a more constructive end. Do you really want to stop being angry with life? Then, begin to become aware of the unproductiveness of this situation. Anger damages your personal relationships by bringing new conflicts, generates a constant dose of stress, produces physical discomfort, affects your self-esteem. I encourage you to write a list of negative elements that have conditioned you for having this attitude. Anger is directly linked to thinking and the way of interpreting reality. From now on, try to generate new thinking options in the face of a conflict that affects you. From what other points of view can you observe that situation? Try to generate a brainstorm of possible perspectives, since, in this way, you are not locked into a specific point. Remember this message from Aristotle: anyone can get angry. That is a simple thing, but getting angry at the right person, to the exact degree, at the right time, for the right purpose and in the right way, that is not so simple. What happens when you spend your time angry? You download your own frustrations with people who don't deserve that deal. It is convenient to limit the ego that is a constant source of dissatisfaction. Remember that just as you have difficulties, others have them too. Therefore, to stop being angry with the world, it is very important that you become aware of how this attitude makes you unhappy, because a person does not change until they do not want to do it themselves. Express your feelings and emotions to turn your situation around. It is recommended that you start expressing in a timely manner those feelings and emotions that lead you to anger when you repress them. For example, if you have a conflict with a coworker, it is not about ignoring that fact, but about dealing with it as soon as possible. The language is rich in nuances, therefore, put assertive communication into practice to make you understand and, also, to understand the other. Anger increases when you lock yourself. This article is purely informative. In Mindset Change, we have no power to make a diagnosis or recommend a treatment. We invite you to go to a psychologist to discuss your particular case.